Oh, Sahana vavatu Sahano bhunaktu Sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant and may we not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace, peace unto us all. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. We welcome all of you to the Sri Sathya Sai Baba Center of Arcadia. So we are now going to the first session, this study circle. We are doing Gita Vahini, and you might have got some people on your email that this will be page 52 of the chapter 12. And you have hard copy, it is the page 103 of chapter 12. So we are going to start this chapter 12 today. So I just like to summarize just some highlights of what we discussed in chapter 11. Because in spiritual things, it's important not just listen. Swami says goes one ear and goes to the other. So that is not good. So at least it should go in the ear and should be able to repeat. But the best is you should assimilate and digest, be part of it. That is why it's called Shravana, listening. Next is Manana, contemplation. You should contemplate, ruminate about it. And more importantly, Nididhyasana. You need to put it into practice. Like suddenly I recollect this happened about 40 years ago. We were in Vrindavan, Trai Vrindavan with Swami and the students. And then Swami will go back to the Prashanti Nilayam. So they had a good time, very close encounter with Swami, with experiences. But this is the ending, that is the last day. So they were feeling all sad. Some kids were crying because you won't have that kind of intimate reaction with Bhagavan except in such situation. Then Swami says, any of this interaction for all of us, even in Prashant Nilayam, who we had darshan of Swami, we touched him, talked to him, ate with him, drove with him, but still only for that period. So it can't be forever, right? So any experience for that matter, it can be. But Swami is just a beautiful thing. You can relive those experiences. You can make it constant. He gave the example of a cow. Cow goes to the field and quickly grazes a lot of grass, eats grass. After eating, it will go to a corner, quietly sits and brings out the cud and goes on chewing, 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 so it digests. Similarly, what all you need to do, Swami said, is just this, what you saw, what you experienced, imprint on your heart and relive those. But the reliving the experiences will give as much joy. So that is why they're called beautiful memories. We all also, even family, friends, we see that enjoy. But here the divine memories is gives you bliss. So relive the divine experiences. So that is the purpose. So that is why I'm telling we need to recapitulate. In spirituality, punascharana is called repetition is good. Go on, because over so many lifetimes we thought we are this body, mind, and intellect. Just suddenly say you are Atman, you are Brahman. For most of the people, it won't sink. It takes a while. So that is why you have to go on repeating, repeating, repeating. So it sinks into you. So last in the chapter, few main points. By the way, this is all beautifully corresponds to different chapter in Bhagavad Gita. last time when we did chapter 11, that is Atma Samyama Yoga, the sixth chapter, which talks about dhyana, how to meditate. That is the main focus is because meditation is one of the techniques to be connected with God. The whole purpose to be happy in life is always be connected to God. ABC, always be connected. How? You can do it different ways. Some people do for singing the bhajan, singing the glories, or repeating the name japa. That way you will be connected. There are people, say Mirabai, Tyagaraja, Surdas, they were liberated, but all they did is singing the glories of Rama, Krishna, and all that. And some people do just japa, continuous repetition of the name of God. They can all be liberated. And there is one technique, there's devotional path, where you sing and read his leelas, like Bhagavatam. And second is the Raja Yoga, meditation. And third is Jnana Yoga, just self-inquiry. Who am I? Am I this body, mind, and intellect, or I am the Atma? So, and the another one is Karma Yoga. These are the four yogas only mainly emphasized in Gita. That is doing Nishkama Karma, that is selfless service. The whole Gita, what he taught Arjuna was about that only. Act, because we all have to act. We all have to work from the time we born till we die. There's no choice. Even if you're in bed, you are working because you're breathing, your heart is beating, working. But do it in selfless way. So last time we talked about the meditation, which is the lot of people nowadays, some people do it for spiritual practice, some to calm their mind and focus. Anyway, whatever way you do, it always has benefits. If you do with the highest love for God, it has spiritual benefits. Even otherwise, it calms your nerves, it helps your blood pressure, and they say in your mind also they found some studies in Harvard, one of the professor of medicine he did, and your brain waves also change. So, but this meditation, if you want for spiritual benefit, Lord Krishna and Swami said few things, four important things. Important is to control the mind. In the meditation to control, but you have be ready for that. So he says, when we sit, he says, mind fickles. He thinks about that. Oh, then I have to tomorrow go to work. As ladies have to cook this. Then the friends have to do this work. So you just sit 2-3 times, 5 minutes. Just, oh, I had to call this person. Oh, I forgot about it. So many thoughts. You are just for 5 minutes analyze. At least one thought is okay. It jumps from one to another to another. That is why Swami said it is my mind is not only a monkey mind, but we told the word monkey mind, which is a mad monkey. And on the mad monkey, somebody gave alcohol and it drank. That monkey has drank alcohol, and then somebody went and pinched it. So he pinched a mad monkey which is drunk. It goes all over. Similarly is the mind. So that is why Arjuna is not an ordinary guy. He's an one-pointed. That is why Dronacharya taught him, because everybody saw sky, branches, but he saw only the eye of the bird. He has so much one-pointed concentration. That is why Lord Krishna would have taught the Bhagavad Gita to Dharmaraja, Bhima. They're all also great people, but he taught to him because he has got that one-pointedness, and also he has got the foresight. What will be the consequences of this war? What will happen? So he chose that. Even that Arjuna tells that, oh Lord, it is very difficult to control the mind. I can hold air in my hand. How can you hold air? You cannot. Even that I can hold, but this mind I can't control what to do. And then what does Lord Krishna say? Asamshayam Mahabahu. Instead of describing, fool, can't you control? He doesn't say that. No doubt, my son, it is very difficult to control. God himself says, Asamshayam Mahabahu Mano Durnigraham Chalam. Mind is very fickle and turbulent. But what is the answer, Chiranjeev? What is the two ways you can control the mind? Now everybody should know. We repeated it many times. Two solutions. Huh? Abhyasa, Vairagya. These two, at least these are the formulas I want everybody to remember. We should always, anything like we said, now everybody in our center knows what is happiness. Happiness is union with God, right? Everybody says that. So like these are all the spiritual formulas like Newton's law. So this is two things, even so, abhyasa, vairagya. That means constant practice. It goes away, again bring it back. Goes away, bring it back. So you need to, like Swami gave the example of cycles. I mean, your cycle, you fall, again get up, again fall. After a while, you can do the cycle even without holding the handle, right? So like that constant practice. But you may practice any amount, but you need vairagya. That means dispassion from the worldly things. So you watch a lot of junk and movies and all that. It will come back to you, or you listen to lots of gossip, rumors, politics, or just involved in all these sensual enjoyments. All those things make subconscious impressions for that. We are human, so it will make, so when you are really still, quiet, all those things come. When you are working here, they won't come, but when you are still and quiet, that is why vairagya is important. What you see, what you hear, and what you associate with is very important. So those two, he has said that. Then he said, okay, I'll control the mind, I will do meditation. But for meditation, there's simple practical things, he said. Yukta hara viharasya yukta chest. You should have moderation in eating. Don't eat too much, don't eat too little, because you are too little, you won't have energy. Some people don't eat and come, then you won't have thinking. So annam brahma, my food is God. So you need to have the things to have. And same thing, moderation in vihara, work. Some people are workaholics. They say they work 18 hours a day. That won't will cause your mind is agitation. There is also middle path. Only work you can do is for God. There is no limit there. There you can work 24 hours a day. But other work, you just have to moderation. Ahar viharasya, or even activity. And sleep. Yukta chestasya karmasu. And also sleep. Excessive sleep. Some people sleep 18 hours. I had one classmate in medical school. We used to call him Kumbhakarna. So even class doesn't come. So really, I don't know how he can sleep. Maybe he was some sickness. So he used to sleep 18 hours a day. So, but some people don't sleep at all. There is a disease, but you should sleep moderate. It varies for people, 6 to 8 hours a day. So you should have to have the ready meditation. These basic things which anybody can do: food, your work habits, and your sleep habits. We all need to say the yuktahara viharasya yukta swapnas yukta chestasya karmasu. And he says, also follows that shloka, next one, natyas, one who eats too much and one who eats too little. One who doesn't sleep, he will not attain yoga, he categorically says. So these are all the conditions to do meditation. There's two. And then you should have proper asana. He says you should sit on the flat ground. You should have posture, erect posture, spine straight, not slouching. All these things are beautifully described. Then you go to the dharana. That is the stage. That is the seventh stage in meditation. First yama. This Patanjali Yoga Sutras, you go, that is the one, he is a master of yoga, which all these people learned. They modified it. But Patanjali is the ancient seer from which everybody learned. So he says first is yama, control the outside thing, inside thing, asana, pranayama, breath control to calm your nerves. Then comes dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. So you need to practice that. But this sounds very hard, right? So he says, this is so hard. How can I don't know whether I will do that. So he says many people come to this, but many people, many millions of people, handful of people are interested in this. But of them, a handful only will reach goal, he says. Krishna himself says that, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschidjayatati siddhaye. We have 8.4 billion people on this planet Earth. And how many people think about the truth and God? So he says, just few people. Yatatam siddhanam kaschin mam veti tattva. Of them, few people are only reached the goal, liberated. He himself said that. You enroll in the primary school, by the time you get a PhD or Nobel, how many people, right? So even recently, one of my friends, he's a law school in India. He says 250 people registered, And within 6 months, they fall apart and 25 people left behind. So a lot of places we see in our own medical school, every place. So people who can stand till the end, they need that perseverance and hard work. This is not an ordinary science. This is the highest science, spiritual science. You need much more. Then he gets discouraged. My God, what is the point? I work for thing and I can't reach the goal. What is the point? Then Lord Krishna, this is very important for all of us. For me, there is another formula. What nahi kalyana krita kaschit durgatim tata gachati. This is like assurance from God Himself. Anybody you do any good deed, it will never go waste. You went and served somebody sandwich. You went and served somebody, gave a comforting words. You helped some elderly cross the street, or you sang some devotional bhajans, inspired people. So you talked about God. Any good deed we do, we help others, that will never go waste. He says it is registered in your spiritual bank. It is not that like ordinary bank balance, which will go with this lifetime, but the spiritual bank balance will come with you for lifetimes. And beautifully, he says, next life you will start from there. You'll be born. If you have 60% marks, you're almost, this is called yoga brashta. You came almost there, but you dropped down. So you came, then you'll be born, Uchinam Srimatam Grehi. You will be people born in prosperous, wealthy, good families, but they have spiritual interest. You will be born in those families. So that is why we're all lucky. We have food to eat and shelter and comfort. Still, we are interested in God because there are many people not interested in eating, drinking, sleeping, and being merry. So then there are people who are almost 90%. They fell down, yoga prashta. They will be born in the families of yogis. Lord Krishna says they will be born in the family of yogis. Their parents are themselves like yogis. But he says that is very difficult to get for many people. He himself says, but don't get discouraged. It won't. But whatever you do, you will continue from this. You will reach the goal ultimately. So the more intense you are. But then the last chapter, he ends the chapter saying that he is the greatest yogi. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena sarvanta. Shraddhavan bhajate yomam sameyuktatamo matha. Who is the greatest yogi? They're all great yogis. Raja yogi, jnana yogi, karma yogi. But the one who loves me with all my heart, soul, mind, and strength, he thinks only about me, oh, how to love him more, how to do more work for him. His mind is preoccupied with the thoughts of God all the time, as if he's possessed by that. Like a miser is possessed about money, or first one, somebody beloved, somebody girlfriend, boyfriend. He's thinking all the time of it, like that. So always, like Gopika is the greatest example. Oh, they're always thinking about Krishna, Lord Krishna, Lord Krishna. That kind of person is the greatest yogi, he says. So hope we can also reach that stage. That is about the chapter 6. Then now he's talking about chapter 7, Vijnana Yoga. That's where we started last week. You were not there, right? At Praveen, I was reading. There he started it. Now we'll explain. There are Prakriti. This is a little complicated. We'll explain two kinds of Prakriti. In the world, we said Para Prakriti, Apara Prakriti. What we see in the outside is the Apara Prakriti, and Para Prakriti is Jiva, and something is this is beyond. So we'll start that, then we'll discuss various explanation about those things. This is first I want you. So each chapter, whenever you read, go back and refer to Bhagavad Gita. There are commentaries by many people. Probably the most commented scripture in the world probably is Bhagavad Gita. There are so many Westerners, Eastern philosophers, Indian people, and even statesmen like Sarvepalli Radha Krishna, Vinoba Bhave, Mahatma Gandhi. So many people have commented on Bhagavad Gita. So you can read that along with Swami's commentary, because Swami says, nice is Sai Krishna come again. So he's commenting about what he said. So that is beautiful. But this is all supplemental, complementary. It helps us. So we'll go to now this chapter 12 and we'll talk about.
Sairam. The Apara Prakriti, about which I speak, is just a manifestation of my Shakti, my glory, remember. Seen superficially with the gross vision, the Stula Dristi, the universe might appear as many, but that is wrong. There is no many at all. The yearning of the inner consciousness, the Antakarana, is towards the One. That is the real drishti. When the inner vision is saturated with jnana, the jagat or creation will be seen as Brahman and as nothing else. Therefore, the inner consciousness must be educated to interest itself only in jnana. The jagat is saturated with jagadisha. Creation is nothing but the creation in that form. Isavasyam idam sarvam, it is said. All this is God. Though there is only one, it appears as many. Let us remind ourselves of an example with reference to this statement of Krishna. We walk in the thick dusk of evening when things are seen but dimly. A rope lies higgledy-piggledy on the path. Each one who sees it has his own idea of what it is, though it is really just a length of rope. One steps across it, taking it to be a garland. Another takes it to be a mark made by running water and treads on it. A third man imagines it to be a vine, a creeper plucked from a tree that has fallen on the path. Some others are scared that it is a snake, is it not? Similarly, the one Parabrahman, without any change or transformation affecting it, being all the time it and it only, manifests as the prapancha of manifold names and forms. The cause of all this seeming being the dusk of Maya. The rope might appear as many things. It might provoke various feelings and reactions on various people. It has become the basis for variety. But it never changes into the many. It is ever the one. The rope is ever the rope. It does not become the garland, or the streak of water, or the creeper, or the snake. Brahman might be misinterpreted in a variety of ways, but it is ever Brahman only. For all the various interpretations, Brahman is the one real basis. Like the string for the garland, the foundation for the building, Brahman is the string that penetrates and holds together the garland of jivis. It is the foundation for the structure of Prakriti. Note this. The string and the structure are not visible. Only the flowers and the building are evident. That does not mean they are non-existent. In fact, they support the flowers and the building. Well, you can know of their existence and their value by a little effort at reasoning. If you do not take that trouble, they escape your notice. Reason, examine, and you can arrive at the string that holds flowers together and the foundation hidden in the earth. Do not be misled by the adeya that contained the thing held, into denying the adhar, the holder, the container, the basis, the support. If you deny it, you miss the truth and hold on to a delusion. Reason and discriminate, then believe and experience. So this is a pretty loaded section, but it's really what Lord Krishna has been telling us throughout the entire Bhagavad Gita. And he's just emphasizing the point that what we see when we attach just a name to that, we're not really acknowledging the true being of what it is. Even if we look at these flowers, or if we look at the trees outside, or if we look at birds flying, they are just a manifestation of the divine energy that exists within everything and comes in all these different forms. And they come in those different forms to serve different purposes, because maybe that particular solar Atma, that's their goal in that particular part of the journey.
Yeah, this is the high level of Advaita, the highest knowledge. So this, because Swami says we need to remember this as goal. Otherwise, if you are not prepared, it will not make any sense. It won't touch your heart. Because for us, seeing the glory, think about the love, we can relate to that. Like as a high school guy, you go and tell him some complicated quantum physics or laws. He looks at it, but he may not understand. Similarly, these are all the highest truths. But to understand that, you need, that is why we looked in Sutra Vahini. What did he say? Athato Brahma Jignasa. After this, you can go to Brahman, he says. Athato Brahma Jignasa. For that, he gave qualification. So, as spirit, even though it is, we have the goal, we need to develop these credentials. Like you go to college, you want to apply for med school, you have to go through college, have the MCAT, this and that. Similarly, we already talked about it. We need to develop Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti, and Mumukshatum. So you need to have that. So the more you develop that, these things become more clear to us. Otherwise, it will be like they say Greek and Latin. It doesn't make. But still, we need to try not to get discouraged. We need to try to understand that. So that Shat Sampatti is very important. That is, you should have Yama, control of the mind, Niyama, control of the body and senses, and then Pratyahara, this is withdrawal from senses, Titicha, forbearance, and then Shraddha, faith, and next one, anybody fill up the gap, quick. If you know that six, Samadhana, to maintain the equant. So we should know all this. One to like next time we say everybody should, somebody should round. You're smiling, so you tell that Yamaniya Pranapatya. You need to know that. Then you are develop that. At least we go on thinking about it. You know, oh, I had to do this. I had to have this faith. I had to have this teacher forbearance, because this is a daily practice. It's not. This is more metaphysical. That is more daily. Daily, we need to life situations come. We need to have forbearance and faith, whether we have faith in God, faith in ourselves, and then equanimity, whether we're developing. So all those six treasures, Yat Sampatti, they are called. They're more valuable treasures than diamonds, emeralds, and pearls, or money, or anything gold. So these are the Shat Sampatti, they call. These are the six valuable treasures one we should develop. Then we can understand this. So what he is talking, Lord Krishna, is, because we are all encountered, there are Prakriti, means manifest universe. What all we see in Prakriti, that is why easy to understand for people who are devotees, Shiva and Shakti. So, right, Shiva and Shakti, Ardhanarishwara. One part is Brahman, that is Purusha. Another part is Mother, Shakti, which is the energy. So, without Shakti, the Brahman cannot work. So, you need a combination of positive and negative. That is the way the universe is. So similarly, this whole universe is like that. So, he is talking about there are two Prakrutis. Prakriti means manifest universe. One is Apara Prakriti, another is Para Prakriti. Apara Prakriti is what you see, these five elements. That is Bhumi, Apo, Analo, Anilo, Nabha. That means earth, which we see, water, which surrounds most of it, then the fire, the element of fire. These are Panchabhutas, is called. Then air, which is all pervading. We all need that. Without all these are, and our body is composed of all these five elements. Let us remember that. And then space, because this body is made up of these five elements, Pancha, Swami and all the great masters said. And then he says that is five, and then three more is Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara. Mind, intellect, and our sense of ego, doership. These comprises of apara prakriti, all the manifest, everything you see in daily, day to day, wherever you go, you will encounter this. Then there is a different, the higher level is called para prakriti, higher than that. That is where jiva, like we are the embodied beings. You can compare this para prakriti is like this body, like this inert. This para prakriti is our life principle, right? If without the life principle, what happens to the body? It's a dead body. It's corpse. It has no meaning. It doesn't function, do anything at all. But there is no body, but there is only life principle. It cannot function. What will life principle do without there is an instrument it needs? So the combination of body and that life principle is there. So this body is like the apara prakriti. This is the composed of these 5 elements and this antakarana. This para prakriti is that prana principle, life principle, divine principle. The combination of that is governed, but as Brahman is beyond these two. It's not only this, it's not only apara prakriti, it's para prakriti. He is beyond Ishwara. He is the one who is responsible for everything. How these prakriti runs and how the the living being works. So we should remember that. That is why Purusha Suktam says beautifully. It says, Padosya Vishwa Bhutani Tripadasya Amrutan Divihi. So this is our seers. This is thousands of years ago. They said, I'm really amazed at how wonderful our saints are. That this whole universe we see, whole universe, the galaxies, everything, what we see, the stars, planets, is Jupiter or Mars or whatever it is, like Kartik Jupiter, man. So was it successful, Jupiter, Florida event as a strategy for Jupiter launch? Was it successful? Oh, really good. So, successful means that will be successful. Right now it is that. Yeah. So all these things are 1/4. Padosya Vishwa. The whole thing is 1/4. Tripadasya Amrutan. The 3/4 is unmanifest. The whole universe is avyakta, vyakta, unmanifest and manifest. So only 1/4 of this whole universe, what we see is manifest. 3/4 is unmanifest. Can you believe that among the galaxies, planets, how little is Earth? On the Earth, how little is our USA? On the USA, California. In the California, Arcadia, and Arcadia, this little so it shows how little we are compared to this cosmos. So it shows the humility. The Lord is the one who is glory and magnanimity we can't even understand. So here he beautifully says how to understand the Brahman. He says, Sutre mani gana mattah parataram nasti kinchidasti dhananjaya. Dhananjaya means Arjuna's another name. Mattah parataram, there is nothing greater than me. That means he is the Brahman, so everything. Mai sarvamidam prodam sutre mani ganaiva. I am all pervading reality. How? Like sutre mani ganaya, like you have a necklace, like party ladies can relate. You have a necklace, there is a little thread goes on, chain between the things. You won't see that. Even for flower garland, you see the flowers outside, but there is a thread which puts them together. Similarly, without that, the minute the thread is gone, the flowers cannot be together. Minute that chain which is holding the jewels are gone, the chain cannot hold. Similarly, I am holding everything to thee. So, Sutre Mani Ganaiva, I am holding that. So we have to constantly remember he is the force which is keeping. That is why here where he talked about, he talks, right? Didn't he say that like the jewels here in the first sentence? He says, I am like the jewels, I am keeping the whole thing together. That is why Isha was, then you realize, first you think this is inert world. Everything is sentient, insentient. That means something all we see, the art part that is insentient. We are the embodied beings, like we, animals, beasts, we have the life principle. But all this is nothing but Brahman. Then you realize, first you think there is a principle called neti neti. So that is in Advaita. First we said we are Atman, we need to realize. There is Ramana Maharshi's method, this is, and Swami. No, I'm not this body. Because body changes. It was young before, small, then youth, now getting old, then after will sick, and then will go on. So this is body will change. So it cannot be I am not the body. And mind, my interests were different when I was a young man. My interests were different when I was middle age. Now and they'll be gone. So there is anything changes cannot be permanent. So I am not this intellect. And then finally you know you are that Atman, which is the underlying principle of that. That is the whole thing. But that means you deny neti, I'm not this, I'm not body, I'm not mind, I am not the intellect, I am finally come to that Atman. But then you realize ultimately, because everything is come from God, even this body, even this mind, even this intellect, everything is nothing but divine. That's why Ishavashyamidam sarvam. That means every atom and moment is permeated by God. But we are confused. What a beautiful example. This is classical example, otherwise called Rajju Sarpa Bhranti. We can relate this Brahman, they say, because Adi Shankara says one great statement that also all of you should memorize. He says, Lokarthena pravachyami yadartham grandha kotibhi. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaina Parha. In half a sentence, just one sentence, I can tell you the summary of all Vedanta. If you know that, then you are realized. What is the truth? Brahma Satyam. Brahman alone is true. Jagan Mithya, the world is illusory. Third point is Jivo Brahmaina Parha. You, the embodied being, is Brahman. So if you realize that that whole world is illusory, only truth is Brahman is only true, and you are that Brahman. That's all the transfer. But people, Jagan Mithya, people translate the world is non-existent, unreal. That's wrong. Mithya means asatyam. Mithya means not asatyam. Otherwise, you say Jagan asatyam. You didn't say. Mithya means it is apparent reality. Can you say this whole world, you see the trees, you see the beings, they are unreal, they don't exist. But for a realized man, everything is Brahman. So, mithya means so-called reality. Like this, that is why the example of the rope. You see the rope is the reality. But in a dusk, in a darkness, you don't see it well. As Swami was talking about, somebody says, oh, there's a garland. When you think it's a garland, it makes you happy. And somebody says, no, it is not a garland, it is like a branch fell down from a tree. It also, when we go and walk, I see sometimes, oh, something, it's not clear, you think something. And somebody says, no, it is a snake. When somebody thinks it is a snake, you'll be so scared. And you may be sweating, and sometimes you are really weak heart, they may collapse and die too. Did the rope kill them? No. The imagination that it is a snake, he killed. For that time, he saw the snake in that rope. Right? You can't say that snake didn't exist. For him, that particular time, it existed. For somebody, that particular time, the garland existed. But what all existed throughout was only rope. So similarly, but you can't say, oh, snake didn't exist. For him, no, I saw the snake and I collapsed also. And somebody saw garland. So similarly, in ignorance, we see all these various forms and things. So till the ignorance goes away, like how does the snake disappear from the rope? Common sense. You put the light, obviously then say, hey, this is I was scared of, it is a snake. It is not a snake, it is a rope. Just putting the light, it does. Similarly, once you have the light of knowledge, all this ignorance goes. This is the truth. Everything is Brahman. My delusion. I was thinking like that. So that is the wonderful thing how Swami beautifully, because some of these esoteric truths, Advaitic truths, you cannot understand except for the beautiful examples, what you can see, then you can understand. That's why the string, putting the things together, the garland, and second thing is about this rope and the snake. These are the classical examples in Advaitic texts they give. Yeah, we are going on to, anybody has any questions about this? Any comments? Yeah.
Sorry, Sai Ram. So world is there, but the only thing is Brahman supports it because there is no um, support of world on its own because of Brahman support. That's why we call it Mithya.
It is, we should remember Adhara, the
Right.
basis for everything, support is Brahman. Adheya, that means everything is supported, but is the world, so-called world. Another example you can think of is a movie screen. The screen is Brahman. All the pictures you see on the screen is this world. Can you see those pictures without the help of screen? If you remove the screen, you can't see the picture. You need the screen to see the pictures, right? So this is the world. But those pictures cannot affect the Brahman. So for example, there is a flood they show on the screen. Does the screen get wet? No. They show fire, huge fire on the screen. Does the screen get burnt? No. So those pictures are there, this is the world, but the Brahman, which is the basis, is not affected. Similarly, the Brahman, the supreme reality, is not affected, only these things have. Mithya means there is life, there is real and unreal. And the mithya means apparent reality. One of the classical examples is sun. Every day we see sunrise, every day we see sunset. Does really sun rise at sunset? No. There is an apparent reality because of the earth going around the sun. So this is called, in Advaitic language, there is something which is real, something which is unreal. This is called real/unreal. It looks real, but it's really unreal. So this is because we are seeing something which it is not. We are seeing, I think when you go to Disneyland or Universal, you see the fire and something that's not there actually, but you are seeing during the time because of the illusion they create. Similarly, we should get rid of out of this mithya, so that what all is, you need to change your vision. Say, this is not everything what I see is not this. You go beyond name and form. What all exists is Brahman. That is the one we need to do. Okay, we'll continue. This is, you do all of your homework, study, and then we can have then better discussion. Okay, Sairam. Yeah, we need to go on thinking Brahman.